And so this is going to tie in as a fable with dominant culture, or at least it's perceived that way, right? Um, through unprecedented and coincidences of stalemate. Uh, there's the time where you say, or you hear people say, this person has a filter on their photo, right? Even if the person is dated, or dating, to seem that they don't understand technology that very well. But you see that if you were around during the 90s, you had to print photos out, right? You had to go to uh, the local drugstore, right? And they would print the photos out for you. So you look at the photo, right? It's a different resolution than, you say, an Android or iOS, right? It's a different resolution. But even in you saying, I'm not going to put a filter on this photo of either applications, either of the three, you're saying I'm not going to put a filter on this application. But technology itself puts a filter on the application. And the reason you know this is because when you see yourself on a photo, you don't look like the photo. When you see yourself on the video, you don't look like yourself on the video. Like literally, I look wide in this video and I'm not wide. Like when I look at myself on different applications, you know what I mean? Like a mirror or something like that, I look skinny. But, on a whiff frame, you look wide. And even in this sense, like when you were kids, you always kept your hair cut low or braided. But when you got older, right, you grew a mustache. You see, like your voice got deeper, So we're moving all the time. We're evolving all the time. This is why the notion or perceived notion of what it means to be evil or what it means to be a devil is misinterpreted. Again, that's schizophrenia. To say like the devil exists or something is evil, that's schizophrenia, because nothing that God made was imperfect. You see what I mean? So a person will open a book and say, it says black man, and then after saying it says black man, right? You know how the Muslims used to do it, right? Or at least how they taught theology. They'll say like black man means devil. It means impure. And then later on, they start to say that it means perfect and it means clean. You know what I mean? Like, so you can see that theology, it clashes. But if you know theology, right, in the sense that the T represents Christ, means everything is clean and crisp, then you'll know there's a yin and yang in everything. So like even when you look at the word devil, you've been taught wrong. You see that the D means to down. It's essentially a prefix, right? To down something. And then you see evil means to evolve, which means you're simply an idol worshiper, right? You don't move, you don't talk, you don't do anything, right? You exist as a thought, like you can't help yourself. That's a devil. It doesn't mean that the devil is going to prey on you, right? Or the devil is going to ruin your day. It just means you have to simply drive over, to the side, right? You have to drive to the side of the pothole. You don't drive over it. So that's the incidence of devolving. That's the incident of devilness. You see? So overstating, everything has resolution. And I'll end on this. When you see a white person and they say like, you're going to jail anyway, that's a data analogy to, or a sequence analogy to, the camera pulling out its own resolution, even if it's not the fault of a filter. There's no filter on this video. It's just how the video is. It doesn't give me a preference to choose how I want to look. It's just a pre-record. Great peace, Yakoki.